back for another week of that thing. Yeah, we're back for another week of that thing. We are back for another week of that thing. Yeah, we're back for another week. We back.
Is this TheRawHype? I love TheRawHype.
All right, we are here again. I'm not going to tell them how we're recording because you told me not to do that, but maybe that is a hint.
That I'm not in the building behind the children.
It's your boy. I don't like you, man. I told this the last few episodes or so, I've been saying, it's your boy, or maybe not your boy, Rebel. And I said that because I never really liked that term or that phrase, it's your boy, man, because it's like, hey, you may not be my boy. I may not fuck with you.
What you watching me for if I'm not your boy, though?
So I always just had a problem with that. So I started saying, it's your boy, or maybe not your boy, Rebel. And then shout out Jay Black. He does commentary for battle rap, amongst other things. You probably see him as that meme. He got he got a bunch of memes, yo. But I listened to his show, and he started saying it. So I hit my dog. I was like, hey, I was saying this, and now I clicked on Jay Black shit, and he said it. And then this nigga gonna reply, you stole that shit from Jay Black. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
I don't even remember saying that, but it's
yes, man. I said all that to say, it's your boy, or maybe not your boy, Rebel.
It's your boy, or maybe not. No. It's your boy Hype, man. I'm back in the building, man. I need to grab a hat, man. My Kodak haircut done went all over the place, man.
Man, I see that nigga. And this is indeed TheRawHype.
Back for
another week of that thing. I couldn't trust you. The last time or two.
Like 3 weeks.
I couldn't trust you, man. I've told this nigga on Snap. I saw this nigga had his hair looking out of control. It's on the camera now, but it ain't what it was when I saw it.
Oh, nah. It was like twisted.
I said, the more down Florida this nigga go, the more his hair get wicked up.
I have no idea what I'm doing, man. Like,
and that's how your hair looks. Your hair looks like you have no idea what you're doing.
My homeboy told me, he was like, man, you're looking happy. You're letting your hair grow out. I was like, nigga, that don't have nothing to do with my happiness. I'm not real sure why my hair growing on, nigga. Let me grab my Trevor Lawrence hat, man. I'll be right back.
Grab your Trevor Lawrence while I get this first topic at hand, which is always a sad, somber one. You know? I never like, and no bullshit, it weirdly... I thought many things. First of all, we're about to talk about the Joe Budden podcast, the JBP.
Is this still a thing?
Hell yes, it's still a thing. And that's part of the thing. It's like what Marlon them was.
And Marl gonna do their own podcast?
See? Are they though?
It looked like it.
It looked like it, but if you listen to Joe podcast, he said he gonna sue them if they do another podcast because they might have a non-compete for a year.
Yeah,
but then I heard him say, I don't believe it either.
Y'all.
I heard that too. I didn't believe it, number one. And then him saying, I ain't gonna sue y'all. I believe that. Yeah. But then at the same token, man, you know what would be great?
What?
I'm gonna go straight to the end and then we're gonna come back and chop it down. It would be great if Rory and Mal started their own podcast and somehow they all did business with the Joe Budden podcast and the JBP to where they have their own shit that they actually own, you know what I'm saying, straight out, that they're like leasing to Joe, and you know, some of the times they can come on once a month, however they work it out. But I don't like seeing what's happening happen. Even though I don't really know what's happening, I see what's being played out, and I don't like it, man.
I definitely don't like it. Because it makes me think about us and shit.
Yes!
You know what I mean?
Yes! Again, that's what I was going to say a second ago. I go, while watching this, it eerily made me think about us on some like, could that happen? And then I said, well, I would love for it to happen because they fighting over millions. I'd love to fight over some millions.
Right.
But I won't love to fight over some millions if I'm not the nigga with the millions.
Right. Or just even beefing with your dog, because you can tell none of the niggas was happy about it. None
at
of them
all.
was happy about it, man.
How could you be, man?
I listened to everything that everyone said, bro. And me and you, we ain't talk about it, but we had a brief text when I first started to watch it. And you was like, I feel both sides. And I was like, I more so feel what Rory and Mal saying, but I didn't love what they were saying. Because they were saying things like, well, Joe's saying that, you know, I got a line wrapped around the corner. And he's like, well, we got a line wrapped around the corner. I completely agree with that. We do have. But he was like, well, Joe think that his podcast is popping because it's a trickle-down effect from his rap career. But that's not the case, because when you was rapping, people wasn't showing up for you like this and like this and like this. I was like, be that as it may, if he wasn't Joe Budden, y'all wouldn't have no motherfucking podcast.
And there you go. I agree with what you're saying. So that's the part of why I see it from their perspective. Why I see it from Joe's perspective is he is the one... He owns it, essentially. He crafted it.
They're saying that he don't.
Okay, let me
refute. We don't work for you, nigga.
But he started the show. He had the show on his channel. He recorded it without both of them. So if you have episodes without both of them, and then there's episodes with each of them, I started it, yo.
But their defense is you wasn't popping before.
And that's the thing. You didn't make it hot. Yeah, you started it, but you didn't make it hot. It's like owning a restaurant, but the cook come in and right. That's what everybody love. Right. And you think they love the restaurant.
Right.
The cook think, they didn't start coming till it's the food. Realistically, it's a combination of both.
I agree with that.
But
I agree with
that. You can't split that down the middle, essentially.
I agree with that. But when you're dealing with stuff like this, the name is everything. And him being the name, it makes it where they're not really giving him his credit for his importance.
Yes.
And he also not giving them their credit.
Yes. Again, it's literally a 50-50 argument, man. Anybody listening, you can find a reason to agree with the other side. It's why this shouldn't be happening.
That podcast over with, though.
The podcast with the three of them is over with.
Yeah, that's over with. That's over with.
Man, listen, man. Can I say this? I don't like saying things like this, but sadly, we live in this world. So I'm talking as if we're living in this world. It can go a WWE route. Them niggas take some months off, and then randomly on like an anniversary day or some shit come when everybody cool off, they done figured out the money, and after you got your money... Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
That shit don't happen in Hollywood. I thought... You ain't seen this yet, but I'll go ahead and give you a small spoiler. I thought Fiona would come back for the last episode of Shameless.
I seen it already. I feel it. I finished it.
Oh yeah. She definitely was not on
I thought so too, but again... I didn't see why she wasn't on, but I would assume it's money.
That's what it was. They said that she wanted to get paid as much as Frank.
Exactly, and I don't disagree with her. Me coming back makes all your viewers happy. Yeah. Me not coming back, your viewers are still going to be happy. So it's like, how happy do you want your viewers?
That's true. Happy enough to pay me? Nah.
Nah. And this is the same with the Joe Budden podcast. It's like...
Yes. Because he's still enjoying the show.
They're still enjoying it. I still watch it and I still enjoy it. Now, is it not the same? Of course not. Would I rather?
Without Rory and Mal?
Yeah, they've been since they. So they was off for like
two new guys on there.
Yeah, which is like his friends though. Apparently, according to him, his real friends, like the ones who really know him.
What's the black guy is Mal, right?
Yes.
Mal actually is not as like corny as I thought he was.
Why did you think he was corny?
Because I don't know him and I never really watched that.
That's your go-to? I don't know a nigga, so chances are that nigga corny. Prove me wrong, nigga.
Mal corny changed my mind. No,
but quite the opposite. Mal is the one that brought cool to the show.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't watch the Joe Budden podcast.
I listen to every episode every week, my dog.
For real?
That's why when you came up with it, again, it's something I wouldn't bring to you because you don't watch podcasts or listen, especially unless it ain't sports related. You don't even listen to our shit back.
No.
Exactly. I don't. So it's like, which again, man, this is the same kind of argument that Joe is having with Mal and them, because something like this, I listen to every episode, and it's because one, I edit the motherfuckers and do all of that, but two, I like to hear some of the parts that were good, see some of the parts that weren't, so I can know what we need to fix. Sometimes I listen, I go, I was talking too much. Let me pay attention to that now and not overdo it. Or vice versa. I wasn't talking enough. Right. Let me go in a little bit more. So it's all those different things. And that's what Joe is saying. He's like, I'm recording every day. I'm doing Patreon shit every day. I'm doing all this shit every day. Them two literally show up on the day of recording and they're gone. He's like, to me, y'all are employees. Y'all are coming to work. For me, it's my life. My name's on the line and all these different type of shit.
That's true.
So, and that's the avenue in which I understand it from Joe's perspective.
He's the one that has the name.
He's the face. He takes the brunt of the hit.
See,
his character takes the hit.
With Random Acts of Podcast, with Joe Budden's podcast, and with Joe Rogan podcast, is that when I'm doing something to where I'm somewhere for a long time, I binge them. You feel what I'm saying? Like if I'm driving, like hell, if I'm driving my ass to the Bangle, 3 hours, I listen to some of that shit then. If I'm like recently, I listened to almost the whole thing of Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle because I was home alone and I was cleaning up and I just
and it's Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle.
Exactly, and I just had it blaring. You know what I'm saying? Because I can hear it at every part of the house. And if I went into the garage and I miss a minute or so, I don't go back and rewind it or nothing. But I listen when I can. So you know what I'm saying? But and I do the same thing with TheRawHype. It's like I'll binge it when I can. Because I talked to you. Shit, a few months ago, I'm listening to episode 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? And I be the same way with everybody else shit. But yeah, I'm not into entertainment that much. As crazy as that sounds.
Another thing with
entertainment is the NFL. And although I'm very excited for the NBA playoffs.
Joe Budden and them also said a similar thing. It's like these guys don't care about podcasts. They've been on the podcast saying they don't care about this shit. And he's like, I care about it so much. I'm always working. I'm always thinking about it and all this. So, of course, when you have those two conflicting sets of minds, one that is, hey, I'm giving this my all. I'm doing this every day. I'm trying to do whatever I can. And then it's another set that is like, hey, I love talking to my niggas. We get paid to do it. Let me know when it's time to talk to my nigga so I can come talk to him and get paid. And so it's like, how do you feel like you own this? And then it's like, if you own it, why don't you care enough to make it something valuable? Like, why is
But they were saying, that was like, he get a big-ass percentage over us. So he was like, we get you got your name, and we get you do this and this. That's why we accepted the smaller percentage that we accepted. But you not finna shit us on the small percentage.
But okay.
And that's how I would be.
Like, there we go.
Shit. Okay, I ain't worried about this and that, but you ain't finna shit me on what. You say, hey, we 60-40. All right, but I want my 40.
See? But back, I'm defending Joe. I'm riding with Joe right now. I'm going to do the Joe end. So let's make this conversation entertaining. Right. If we do a 60-40,
Joe and I'm closer to Maul and Roy,
which is why I understand both parts of the argument 1,000%. But then at the end, it always boils down to, man, this is something you do with your niggas. Y'all niggas can figure it out.
Yeah, but my defense a little bit different from theirs because I used to do what you do now. They didn't used to do what Joe do now.
Here's what I'm saying. Don't let me forget this point. Joe is saying the split is 60-40. At 60, we got 100,000. I get 60,000. You get 40,000. I want more than 60,000.
Like 20 and 20.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And this is again, I don't know their situation. I don't know what they got going on, but for me, that's not fair just because of who he is. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, I get 60,000. You get 40,000. I may want more than 60,000. You might be like, man, 40,000 good for me. So I go and I do everything and I work and I bust and I make it up to $1 million. You like, so now you coming in and it's like, nah, nigga, 400,000. It's like, but hold on, man. You was good at 40. You did nothing to get to $1 million, but you want to enjoy the 400, which goes back to friends. If that's how you feel.
My contract is my contract, though. My contract is my contract.
This is why that shit is.
It don't need to be no friend shit when my contract is my contract.
Yes, but then it's not.
It's like they said. He was like, "Nah, I don't want to have to pay y'all that much. Whether it's 40% of $100 or 40% of $1 million, my 40% is my 40%. You know what I'm saying? If I'm shooting 40% from 3, that means that on this day I might make 2. I might make 2. But then one day I might make 10, but I still shoot 40% because, you know, a nigga didn't shot.
That's my average.
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying?
You wouldn't say I got to give you 40% every day.
Well, you didn't say you need 40% of 20 shots every day. You just said 40% and you get your
said
bonus.
average.
Like, let's say it's a bonus. Like, hey, if you shoot 40% from 3-point this year still, you're going to get a bonus. Nigga might take less 3. And it's because we dealing with percentages. So that's why I get where they coming from, but I get where he coming from too. If he the one that made it. And to me, he had to be the one to make it what it is because we worship celebrities in this country. And he is a celebrity. Nigga had a rap career. Nigga was on reality TV. Like, I never heard of them all in there.
And see, that's one of Joe's arguments. He's like, you know, he's saying him being on Love and Hip Hop and all those things brought more ears and eyes to what they got going on.
And they wrong when they act like it don't. Well, he didn't have these kind of lines when he was a rapper. Yeah, but him being a rapper is why y'all had his lines now. If it was me, Rory, and Mal, nobody would have heard of us. So no matter what Roy and Mal said they was doing beforehand, if we added them niggas to the Raw Hype before they was on the Joe Budden podcast, we'll be where we at right now.
But it's no way to say, man.
But if we added Joe Budden, we'll be on.
And that's you're not lying because that's the definition of clickbait. It's like, hey, let's put whatever the most popular, scintillating thing done or said. Like this. This clip is going up as Joe Budden Marrero response. You ain't gonna know till you click it. Ain't no Joe Budden here, nigga.
Exactly, nigga. I slightly look like him from a distance.
If you put the
Look, man.
Shout out to TheRawHype, man. Shout out to TheRawHypers. But hey, I only said that because I was thinking this is the type of shit they can't see on the audio that you see on the video. But it's so crazy that we don't lose chemistry even through the video.
Hell no. Podcasts are better through video, though. I love a video podcast, man.
Because you got to see, man.
When I watch Eminem shit, I just like to see that shit on YouTube.
That's what it is. It's just seeing it.
Them niggas' audio gets so much more views and shit than they video. But I'm like, man, I like the video. I like that shit, man. The video just, it's like I said before, it could be, I forgot to set my lighting up, so I'm doing that right now. I was like, it could be a guy.
I almost liked how that shit was looking.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Well, let me see how I look with the light, and then we can make it real. You do know this is all, well, it don't matter, man. If you hear, you know what the RawHype's about. It's just a fun time with two fun guys.
Yeah, it look way better like this.
Yeah, it look better like that.
Yeah. But my whole thing is like video and all that kind of shit is a very big deal, but it's weird when you're dealing with audio. But it could be a nigga that I never heard rap before. If he rapping on the Back in Blood beat. Let's say he rapping on that beat. I don't want to see no picture of that nigga standing still and doing audio.
The little artwork.
Exactly. And it could be somebody I never heard of. I just want to see that nigga rap.
Video is usually over. But again, like you said, you watch some of these things when you're doing something. When you're working, some people working. They got to put this shit in their pocket and keep it moving.
But even when I was watching Dave Chappelle and
Joe Rogan,
I'm walking around the whole house and shit, but I looked for the video of that bitch for a minute before I accepted that I only could get the audio. I was like, man, there probably ain't no video because Joe got that deal.
The video is on Spotify. It's just the same thing. It's the video and the audio. It plays as video when you turn the screen and you see the video.
Oh, see, I would have been cool with that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But see, I would have had to go to Spotify. That's what I said. He got that deal. That shit ain't gonna just be on the tube no more.
And who want to deal with the RawHype? Spotify, Apple Fly, GameFly.
I owe GameFly 2 games. Nigga. I switched my credit card. And then they couldn't bill me no more. And I was like, man, I done had these games for like 2 months. I don't really want to update my credit card. So then they canceled my account. And then they're like, send us our games back. Them niggas got my name in the system as Hype Cole. I was like, nigga, I'm not sending it. And niggas don't ask for no social or nothing on that motherfucker. Them niggas you can put any name on that shit. I'm like, y'all niggas wild. Well, I ain't mad at them because they ain't doing nothing but beating you anyway. Charging you monthly to borrow games.
I know they beating me. because I have the last game. I only got one game out because I realized I don't rent a bunch. I got Cyberpunk, and I've had Cyberpunk. I ain't played Cyberpunk a minute. I started creating the player. And that's it.
I had that shit for like 2 months, and that's the game they're telling me to sit back. I was like, nigga, fuck y'all. I'm kidding. Nigga,
Adri, somebody ripped or fucked up the return pack. So I even asked them niggas for a new return pack. And I just paid the other day. I was like, man, I'm still paying for this. What games I got out? I was like, oh, Cyberpunk. And then I looked to see if anything that I want to play, and nigga, there's nothing.
Nope. I probably would have rented the MLB The Show if it wasn't on Game Pass. But
if it wouldn't already had it. Exactly.
But I wouldn't have played it. But,
I wouldn't have rented it.
Oh, I definitely would have rented it.
But no, man, we're drifting. Let's finish this Joe Budden point. Well, this is the Raw Hype. We like to come back to the point over and over. So this is going to be the overarching theme. But just like Joe and Maul and them, here's what Maul said, man. You said you heard this. Here's this part, because you did mention it.
I feel like Joe feels like a lot of the success of his podcast is based off of his music career.
It is.
Right? I feel like he thinks it's a trickle down of...
But you saying it is. Okay, yeah, man. I love...
There's no getting around that.
Because it goes hand in hand. Like his name... The reason that he might be the shit wasn't packed for them back then is because most of the people might not wanted to hear what Joe's rapping about. Today, they want to hear what Joe's talking about. But part of that is because of what he was talking about with Maul and Rory. So it's like, hey, they're here now because you... It's almost like a resurgence almost.
It is. Like, all right, let's say this podcast we drop right now, right? Let's say it get 10,000 views, okay?
I'll take it.
All right. If we come back and we drop 3 episodes in a row after that, and we added Silk the Shocker to our podcast, I guarantee they will have more than 10,000 views. If you consistently are making a podcast that Silk the Shocker is a legitimate part of, we changed this bitch to the Silk the Shocker podcast, and then it got featuring TheRawHype every week. You feel what I'm saying? Me and you. It's me, you, and Silk the Shocker. I promise you, bro, we will get more views than we get now, bro. And nobody cares about what Silk the Shocker got going on.
Yeah, you asked for it. It don't matter if we remote, nigga. You asked for it, you gon' get it. What did I type in? Silk the Shocker type beats. Let go, boy. Woody. I don't know. Is that how Silk the Shocker beat would be? Man, I come on the beat. How does Silk the Shocker rap?
I come on the beat like
That sound like Mystical.
Oh, him and Mystical rap a lot. That's like,
I can't even pretend flow on this shit.
Silk the Shocker. I promise, man. We got to get Silk on the episode, man.
Shout out to Silk the Shocker, man.
Silk the Shocker, man.
But no, man. Again. Oh shit! I was playing this shit. Let me finish playing it, yo.
Go ahead.
Let me finish playing it.
Effect from his music career to the podcast, and my thing is, it's not. I've been in some of these cities when you were a rapper, Joe. I've been in some of these cities. It wasn't this many people weren't showing up for you.
That's not fair.
And again, through all of this,
you know what else is not fair?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when people start shitting on people for old shit that you didn't shit on previously. Now that you in a mood to shit on me.
Yeah. Like, nigga,
if he said that
for your raps, come on, man.
But here's my thing. If he used to always say that to me, and you say it again, cool. But why does this sound like it's the first time you mean it? He might have said it. This is the first time he mean it.
Yes, bro. That's my thing.
I don't like that, man.
I don't like that. And I'm not saying he a fuck nigga or he a fake nigga.
Not at all.
Like that. I'm just saying, because that's his true opinion. I can feel like, I understand he really believes that. You feel what I'm saying? It's literally, because he making a comparison of, you're more popping now than you've ever been. That's his comparison. But my whole thing is, y'all would not be popping now if he never was popping.
And Joe said that when he was talking on his podcast. He was like, y'all go start y'all own podcast. Y'all pay for all this shit, and y'all see how hard it is to start from the bottom part and build your podcast up.
But they won't have to start from the bottom because
Exactly.
their name is affiliated with Joe Budden.
Nigga, this shit that they just dropped cost $2, and I know for alright, 252,000 people saw this 1 minute clip. So I'd like to assume, let's say 1% paid for it. That means you got 2,000 people paying, 250 people, 2,500 people paying $2. You already made money off that motherfucker, man.
I'm telling you, it's very, and I'm not saying that they don't deserve that credit, they don't deserve that money.
They deserve it all.
To see their accountant how they want to see it. Because if I get a percentage and I ask for the numbers of what we made totally, I should be able to get that. I should be able to get that. If you giving me 40% and I say, hey, well, shit, how much money are we making? If I can't get an answer to that, I feel like you fucking me.
It's all justified, man. But I think what's getting muddy
is that don't give you the right to make up shit though. And to say that we're not popping because of you're being Joe Budden is ridiculous.
Well, his argument would be you wasn't popping being Joe Budden, nigga. So me coming on and being Joe Budden with you is what got you popping. I needs my credit.
And okay, but furthermore, the bitch being called the Joe Budden podcast is another thing.
But it was called I'll name this podcast later before. It changed to Joe Budden podcast when he started taking the business of it more serious. Like, hey, Howard Stern show, like the niggas who's like the main niggas in the shit, they got their name on their show, and the show is a brand. The Ellen Show, Oprah Show, like all these people that got their name. So that's when he started making the transition to do that. And if you listen to the episodes, they laughed it off, of course, but we don't know how they truly felt. But when the change was done, they laughed it off. Like, hey, man, let him have his diva moment and blah, 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 blah. But like I said, on Joe's end, he's like, this is another step that I have to take to get me in the area and the space that I want to get into. He's accounting a lot of the money and stuff to what he did and how he did what he did after they got their little initial push.
And I don't even like how Mo was like, I had money when I met Joe. Like, basically, like, he was this big-time dope boy.
Not only that, he's like, I think I had more money than you in my pocket.
I didn't.
That's it's the same thing I don't like. It's like, man, why are you taking jabs I would have rathered you taken when you could have taken them as opposed to taking them now when your goal is to shit on me?
No doubt.
I don't like it, man.
No doubt. Because we have had similar conversations. Like, even when me, you, and Frost was talking recently, right? And he was just like saying, like, I knew you, but I didn't know you from like rap. I just knew you was a nigga that rapped, and you was always in the rap scene, and it looked like you had money, like referring to me. And I know way more. Like, you and Frost are considered like legends as far as that whole rap scene goes. But I have told you this. I will tell Frost this, and I'll tell anybody this. I was the person making money from music. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, this ain't something that I'll say in 10 years or 20 years. Like, I was the person, like, I was the nigga before anybody else was doing shit, like having their music on iTunes, when niggas was dropping mixtapes. I'm like, no, nigga, my shit was sale.
But like you said, you've said this before.
Exactly. That's my
point. It's documented. It'd be different if we sitting down at that $10 million table and you're like, nigga, the podcast was popping because I was a rap legend. Yeah, nigga, but was you making money though?
Exactly. Nigga was broke.
This nigga was broke as fuck. He's like, hey, Hype, can you buy some mics? Hey, Hype. It's like, hey. What the fuck?
You don't have the right to do it like that. That's not the way to do it. Even if what you're saying is true, that's not the way to do it.
It's not the way. And that's the part that I guess that's the part that I have the problem with, man. It's like, hey, man, don't do it like that.
And I'm not even saying that they dead ass wrong. They not dead ass wrong because they are telling the truth. Like, I don't think Maul lying. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
I don't think he's lying. But
I just don't like your point, your timing of telling this truth that you want to tell.
Particularly when you're saying shit like, and I'm not trying to shit on him. That's my brother. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to use this energy. I don't want to use that energy. But it's like you do want to use that energy.
Yes, like, the point of you doing that. Exactly, that's the energy.
That's the energy of
You remember when I was on your couch but I had more money than you on that couch? or you remember when you used to rap and everybody thought you was dope rapping but nobody would show up? But then when I showed up, they started to show up?
And now
but it's yours though. This yours.
Right, I don't like that.
I don't like it.
I felt what Marlon Roy was saying more than I felt what Joe was saying. That just don't mean I don't have an issue with it. Because what Joe was saying, Joe was like, hey, man, them my brothers, man. Ain't nobody make no $400,000 mistake. If I'm Joe, I'd have been like, look, this the paperwork I gave these niggas. It had this on it, this on it, this on it, this on it,
See,
this
but
on it, this on it, this on it.
what Joe said is he don't want to have to do that. Like, why do I have to go and show y'all my books just to make y'all happy? It's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to show the niggas.
Like, Joe sound like he was not respecting them niggas' bread. I ain't saying he wasn't giving them their bread, but he was, like, even when they said, hey, you can't see the books, but I paid y'all more than I should have. That sound like Joe's opinion, not a contract. Like, I gave y'all nigga more than y'all deserve.
Well, Rory and them said, oh, no, we was paid great. Oh, no. We was paid great.
Them niggas said, I do not believe that he paid us more than we should have. They said that.
No, Mal said that. Later on, earlier on in that same conversation, Rory said, no, we was paid great.
A particular time when he was like, during this time, I paid y'all more than I should have. And Ma was like, I don't believe that. And I was like, I don't believe that either. Because you can't pay me more if you don't want to show me the dollar.
But again, it's the Joe is like, I built this. And Mal and Rory is like, but I made it sell. So now when money come in.
I built this. And they're like, we built this.
No, I don't think so.
Yes,
I think their argument is no, but they said you had your show and shit, but nobody wasn't checking for it until I came on the show, and then people started checking for the show. So that's them saying we sold it almost. You built it, but nobody wanted what you bought. I came in, I said what you got is cool, and then people started buying it. Who responsible for that money? Who responsible for that money? The hustler that hustled it, or the person that created what the hustler had to hustle?
Them niggas not dead ass wrong. None of them.
None of them. That's what I'm telling you.
They all are wrong to an extent, but they're all right to an extent. But none of them are dead ass wrong.
And they both what you call it? They both cross each other out.
Yeah, man.
That's why I said the reason why I don't like this shit happening is because it doesn't need to happen.
No. I'm gonna put a bow on my thoughts on it.
Yes.
I sided with Rory and Mal more based on what they said, but I agree with Joe's premise. And Joe's premise is, I'm the famous nigga. I did all the work. This is my podcast. It's hard to dispute that.
So it sounds like you do agree with both of them.
I agree with what they were saying more, and it's because Joe is arrogant. So Joe's like, I'm not finna stoop down to you niggas level to prove that I'm right. Like,
yes,
I don't really need y'all niggas, so why would I do that anyway? If anything, y'all niggas can find a way to make it to where y'all can be back cool with me. Like, that's how he views it.
Hey, y'all, shit, he said that on his live. He's like, I don't feel valued here. I'm gone. That's what it sounds like. He's ridiculous. But hey, Joe, we need to talk about the money. First, we need to talk about y'all making me feel happier.
Like bullshit. That's how he feel about it. And he's not wrong.
None of them are wrong. This is why this shouldn't be happening.
Some things that they both handled some things wrong. But none of them are wrong in what they're saying.
Nope. Because Joe is right. I made this. This is my name. I do the what you call it? I brought all the money in. He even said, he's like, y'all bring some money, y'all eat. But y'all are eating off all the money that I'm bringing in. So the more money I'm bringing in, the higher y'all splits are. When y'all are doing nothing to increase the splits, but y'all want that guaranteed
contract. But he's right.
That's why they're both right. So again, Mal, Rory, Joe, this is the Raw Hype. Hopefully you guys co-workers pretty soon. Sign them boys, man. We got good talent. Get this shit under control, man, because this is the type of shit that leads to like a motherfucker not talking to a motherfucker for 10, 15, 20 years. On some shit that you can
watch y'all podcast, and I wanted to come back to one whole
man. But and it's because
what Mal was saying, he's like, man, I can't go in there and be fake and act like this. And I was like, he's right.
He's right.
That nigga Rory like, no, fuck all that. Let's just get this bitch back together. Let's do it. And that's and I respect that.
Because they all are right, man. They're all right. It's literally because again, the reason why I'm invested in it is again, like we said, like this could be our future as well because we friends with a show that's constantly evolving. You know what I'm saying? And it's only going to evolve more.
Many different types of things.
Exactly. So then it's like, what if Black Freckles do? That's what I say. What if Black Freckles do something to make more people come look at the Raw Hype? But then I'm doing everything that they see for the Raw Hype.
Exactly.
This is the same predicament.
Yep. It's different, but the same. It's just different angles.
Hey, play this back in the courts. Shout out my nigga Hype. We built this city together, nigga.
Shout out to Red. We built this city.
Whatever we need to do to make us happy, we'll get it done, yo.
Get it done.
Because that's all they need to do, man. And again, a lot of times, what is the tipping point is always money. Joe might feel right now, man, this show is worth $5 million, and I work to get $4 million of it. I can't give them niggas $2 million for doing nothing. But then if he got $50 million, or if he got $200 million, and now they need $20 million, it doesn't look as bad.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But from the sounds of things, them niggas is getting money.
Yes.
Can we talk about Kobe?
R.I.P. the GOAT, man. R.I.P. the GOAT, man.
So,
hey, can I say something real quick before you start on Kobe? I deal with pain and shit by ignoring it. The reason I haven't dealt with like Kobe and his passing, and I haven't dealt with it in the manner of like, I don't watch highlights for more than like a minute or so. Like you posted or retweeted a highlight the other day. It was 9 minutes. I said, I know he watched every minute of it, and I'm not watching past a minute. Yeah. Because
what I do is I don't partake in anything that has to do with his death. Like if somebody got me a gift and it said Kobe Bryant 1978 through 2020, I wouldn't like that gift. You feel what I'm saying? It need to be him hooping. You feel what I'm saying?
And so there you go. But you deal with it, but you care about him far more than I'm able to care about things. But I ignore it. Like I forget he's dead until I'm reminded he's dead when something like what you said happens when they put his birthday and his death date. Because I only saw him hooping and being on TV. Right. And the only way I'll see him is hooping and being on TV. So when I see him hooping and being on TV, it's like he's always been to me, hooping and being on TV. So I don't have to deal with him not being here because technically he was never here, and I still have him in the same ways that I've always had him before.
Right, and he stopped hooping 5 years ago.
So I've all... Thank you.
Yeah, like if this had happened in the middle of Game 6 of the NBA Finals or
holy shit.
Yeah, you know.
That's different.
This is something that hit me today about it that has saddened my soul.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because, of course, he got inducted into the Hall of Fame and shit yesterday.
Well, shout out that boy. Had to be first ballot. They should have gave him his own fucking, what you call it?
Two things I thought. I said, I don't like that Kobe Bryant and like his death is overshadowing the Hall of Fame for like Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, right? But then I thought, but if he was alive, him going into the Hall of Fame would still overshadow going into the Hall of Fame for Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. So I was like, you know what? I'm fine with it. But this is
I agree, actually.
Right, yeah. I thought about it. I was like, well, even though them niggas is great. They're great.
See, but the problem is, to add to that, I think what's missing is them all hugging in a picture together. That is like, okay, even though we did celebrate Kobe and he is overshadowing, he is not trying to overshadow y'all. So he'll hug and love on y'all and all that shit. So I think that is the difference of, him not being here.
When he was alive, this was a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like when Vince Carter retired compared to like when Kobe retired. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince Carter didn't go out and say, man, them niggas they do me like they did Kobe. You feel what I'm saying? Like this is an understood. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's like LeBron and shit. It's an understood that LeBron is everything. Like it's just Joel Embiid is not gonna get the love LeBron get when he does. It just is what it is.
Who it was that nigga told Paul Pierce, Draymond, is like, you think you Kobe? You think you Kobe?
What hit me for real, this hit me today about Kobe, man. This shit crazy. Is that him going into the Hall of Fame yesterday? That's it. There is no more Kobe days.
It's Kobe Day every year, man.
That's just remembering that he died. This is like a plan in his life, an event that was happening that had to do with him. Like, that had a date on it. You know what I'm saying? Everything else now would just be remembering that he died. Like, this was an event that he was supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is his last event. This is it. Like, when we were saying when he first died, we was like, man, he probably got stuff on his calendar for this long. You said like years or whatever. But that's been adjusted now. There's nothing on his calendar now.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted to make do something with Chadwick Boseman and shit. That clearly don't exist. You feel what I'm saying? Because they both gone. But this was his last event. This is it. It's over. He like officially dead.
Sorry, man. I don't deal with it.
That's crazy, though.
I don't deal with it.
That's fucking crazy, man.
And Pete Kobe, man. Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel? I don't even know what kind of question I was gonna ask. It was gonna be about this Hall of Fame shit, though, but I just completely fell out of my mouth.
Chris Bosh and Chris Webber and
Paul Pierce.
They retired after Kobe?
Yeah, you remember Paul Pierce? The nigga told him. Oh, I didn't know if Chris Webber retired after Kobe. No, I think he did before.
I'm like, why is he just not going into the Hall then?
Well, Rudy Tomjanovich just was able to go into the Hall, and he been on coaching for some years now.
He's a coach, nigga. I'm talking about basketball.
It's the same shit.
Chris Webber should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, is what I'm saying. So why is he?
But I think this is his first ballot.
It got to be. That's what I'm saying. So he had to retire after Kobe because you got to wait 5 years.
You have to be put on the ballot though.
But but all them niggas gonna get put on the ballot 5 years after they done playing. So I'm confused on why he's just not going.
Well, then, I'm confused on what's the timetable of when you get put in the ballot or not. Because I thought it's just when.
5 years later.
Regardless?
Yeah.
That can't
That's why
be.
Tim Duncan and them just not going. They stopped hooping 5 years ago. Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Kobe Bryant stopped hooping 5 years ago. So it's 5 years. Y'all eligible. Of course, y'all niggas immediately is. That's it. So I'm like confused. I'm like, Chris Webber? It make me feel like he hooped a year after Kobe did.
He might have been on the team.
Right.
Let's see, man.
Yeah, when did Chris Webber retire, man?
When did Chris Webber
retire? 2008.
2008. That's way more than 5 years ago. That's what I'm telling you. I think it has to do like when you get put on the ballot, which maybe can only start after 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. You go on the ballot 5 years after you retire. But somebody like Chris Webber, he would have went on the ballot in 2013, so he should have been a Hall of Famer in 2013. He's Chris Webber. Maybe the NBA
we have the internet.
Hall of Fame ain't as easy to get in as I thought it was.
Players are eligible for the Hall of Fame after they have been fully retired from play for at least 3 years. Only players with at least 50 career win shares. That's not what I wanted, guys.
It's got to be 5. Because Kobe and them just not going in. It's not like
talk while
anybody.
I look this up. I need answers.
It's not like anybody would get picked before them. You know what I'm saying? It's like if they eligible, no matter who else, if fucking Dr. J and them was eligible, Kobe gonna go in before him. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. I know the NFL is 5. I thought the NBA was 5 too, but it makes sense.
Man, fuck that. Hey, any raw hyper out there who see this, if y'all can inform us on
why Chris Webber just not going to
why that nigga 13 years late, nigga.
Right. I'm totally confused.
And he going in next year. Is Chris Webber and Paul Pierce and Chris Bosh Hall of Famers?
In the NBA, of course. The NBA let anybody in the Hall of Fame. Tracy McGrady is in the Hall of Fame.
See, so what does it take to be in the Hall of Fame? Because I feel like Tracy McGrady had an impact in the time that he had an impact. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Your career wasn't long enough. Like if he in the Hall of Fame, like Grant Hill should be in the Hall of Fame, and he probably is.
He probably is. But his impact was Hall of Fameable though. So how does that work? He might not be a Hall of Fame player, but his impact was Hall of Fameable. So how do you not Hall of Fame him?
Yeah, Grant Hill in the Hall of Fame.
He has to be.
What? How?
Any nigga with a pair of shoes, you need shoes. Nike Sprite commercial.
Like Zion and LaMelo, them niggas already in.
Already in who else you know flew all across the country, played in every league, and then came and sizzle on the fucking NBA?
Bro, that nigga Zion, they be knowing that nigga gonna go to the rack, and they still can't stop that.
They still can't do nothing about that motherfucker.
I like him, man.
I like him too, man. Yeah,
he
he's
ain't
6'6".
even tall. Yeah, he be just going.
Nigga, you are tall. What the fuck you think 6'8"? I get your point. NBA tall. Nigga, there's niggas 6'2" and 6'3". Russell, you taller than Russell Westbrook. You can't dunk like Russell Westbrook, nigga.
Zion is a power forward.
He's only a power forward because of how thick he is, how big he is.
That nigga my height. Think about how, and then he huge and he explosive as fuck.
Like Charles Barkley. He like 2021
he like Shaq and Charles Barkley.
Monstars Charles Barkley.
Like no bullshit. He's like a Shaq, Charles Barkley, and like Lamar Odom.
Smash that nigga
like
together.
Like
you only say Lamar Odom because he shoot left threes.
Nah, he can dribble that bitch. Lamar could dribble that bitch.
He could dribble enough to get past who's in front of him.
That's how Zion is.
That's what I mean. That's what Zion does.
So is Lamar. Lamar can dribble.
No, Lamar will bring it up the court, man.
Lamar's 7 feet tall. He ain't finna just shake niggas.
And look, Odom used to come up the...
Yeah, but Zion can dribble that bitch, bro. That nigga Lamar Odom said after he fight Aaron Carter, he want to fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul would beat the shit out of Lamar.
Look at that, man. Look at what Nate Robinson did. Nate Robinson...
He need to get revenge for Nate Robinson.
But Nate Robinson made it to where people start putting shit in perspective. Before, you might have not said that so confidently that he would beat Odom. But because you see what that... Huh?
I probably would say that today. I seen a YouTube video this morning where that nigga Jake Paul fought all of Rob Gronkowski brothers. Like, they did 4 rounds, and each round he fought a different Gronkowski brother. And that nigga beat the shit out of all them niggas.
That nigga said each round he fought a different Gronkowski.
Yeah, that nigga was fresh, and that nigga dropped all them niggas, bro. The problem child is the truth, man. The problem child.
But hey, man... Hey, okay, I wanted to say this about Floyd fighting one of the Pauls.
He fighting Logan.
I'm appalled at him fighting one of the Pauls. But right,
he gonna beat the shit out of Logan Paul.
I hope so, man. Because why be great anymore? What's the point of being great when a nigga can just be popping online and challenge you and niggas legitimize it so much that you're going to make more than you've ever made for any real fight you've ever had?
Floyd won't. No, not him. Not Floyd.
Floyd's making over 100-something million on this.
Ben did that.
He's never made over 100 million. I think he made like 50 million.
Ben did that.
Well, yeah, let me not say no stupid shit like that. Let me not say that.
That nigga Floyd be eating on the fights, bro. Look it up. Look it up. Floyd be eating. I'm telling you.
He be eating, man, but them shits.
This will not be his highest grossing fight.
Come on now. Talk to the people, man. See, this is what Joe Budden be talking about, man.
You don't know how to Google, man. What's Floyd Mayweather's highest grossing fight?
Yeah, he got 100 million against McGregor too.
Yep.
Oh no,
Pacquiao.
Reportedly, they said Mayweather got 280 million for fighting Conor McGregor.
I'm trying to tell you. When you like, I'm like, he didn't did that. I'm not bullshit.
200 million for a fight? Done that.
That nigga done did it, bro. You can go look at that. When he was boxing, go look at Forbes' #1 athletes getting paid. And that nigga was #1 every year. Like, no bullshit. That nigga got paid.
But again, there's some people who have never in their fight life made 100 million, and nigga, they about to make this shit now.
McGregor didn't make nowhere close to what he made from fighting Floyd his whole career. And now Floyd fighting a famous YouTuber, that shit gonna be some money.
That motherfucking famous YouTuber said, when he was cussing out them UFC niggas, and he's like, why my last fight made more money than ever any fighter has ever made in your MMA shit for as long as you've been around? He's like, there's motherfuckers who could come fight with me and fight against me and make more money they ever made in their entire career. Why be great?
Who knows? Like, Jake Paul he can talk his way into the fucking NBA and shit. Hell, you remember when
nigga, J. Cole over there hooping in Africa, nigga.
I heard about that. You heard about the Mavericks tried to sign Tony Romo to a 10-day deal back in the day?
I didn't know if that was true.
That was true. Them niggas like a last place team trying to sign the quarterback. Like, what are you niggas doing?
Oh, my God.
That nigga Dirk was still on the team, like 40 years old and shit. Yeah. Them niggas, Adam Silver, he blocked it. But them niggas tried to sign Tony Romo to a 10-day deal. He warmed up with the Mavericks. In the warm-up line, and the Mavericks home was set up. And I was if they signed him to a 10-day deal, that would be awesome. But Adam Silver was like, all right, man.
In this era of money, man, I'm very tired of it, yo.
No, especially for a nigga don't have none. I don't have no bread and motherfuckers out here fighting Jake Paul and shit.
For all of it. And it's like, man. A basketball player. A football player.
For real.
This shit is just disgusting, man. And again, it's because money allows anything to happen. Like,
back to the Joe Budden shit.
You can say anything is possible because you know money can make it happen. Mm-hmm. Floyd Mayweather, what most people would say is the greatest boxer of one of the top 3 greatest boxers of all times, is fighting Jake Paul just because it's so much money he can't say no.
And it's niggas who been practicing their whole life to be a boxer that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't even take their call.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's niggas who done won championship belts.
Exactly. That Floyd wouldn't even know that they want to fight him because it wouldn't even get to him. But Jake Paul can go on YouTube and say, I want to fight Floyd Mayweather.
And then it happened.
And it'll get to it.
That shit is crazy,
if there was ever 2 niggas that was going to fight for some bread. Oh, no, Floyd fighting Logan. But Logan living off of Jake, though. As far as this boxing shit go.
I heard one is really good and the other one is just
Logan
bullshit.
Lost to a different YouTuber. And he fighting Floyd Mayweather. He lost to that YouTuber named KSI or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. But isn't Logan the real fighter and Jake was just the nigga that knocked out Nate?
I don't know. Logan undefeated.
That's what I'm saying. One of them.
Jake undefeated. Logan lost to KSI.
This shit don't even make no sense, man.
And Jake like 24. And I'm like, well, if this nigga Jake practicing every day and he fighting the small ass Nate Robinson that's 40 years old, hell yeah, Jake Paul finna knock this nigga ass out. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy
I'm so confused with them too that when you say their names, I just fucking fizzle up in my head. I don't know what is happening.
They look alike too. The one you know is Jake.
I don't know which one is the one I know.
If you seen him and you said that's one of the Paul brothers and you knew it for sure, it would be Jake.
Which one was the nigga who does the internet shit? I know the one who used to do Vine and shit.
Jake.
He used to do it with his brother.
You seen recently when dude stole Floyd Mayweather hat and he said, "Got your hat." That's Jake.
Is that the one he fighting or is that his brother?
No, he fighting his brother.
So he was just arguing with the other brother and he took his hat.
He took his hat. Then that nigga Jake said, "You want to do 2 in one night?" That nigga Floyd like, "Yeah, set it up." Like, I'll whoop both of y'all niggas ass. And Jake told Mayweather, he said, "Go call Paul Heyman so you can set it up." And Floyd was like, "I don't need to call Paul. I don't got a boss. I don't got a boss."
Took the nigga hat.
Yeah, he said, "Got your hat." Then got a tattoo that said, "Took your hat."
Gotcha. This is the same thing I'm saying I have a problem with.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous.
One, the 2 of them fighting, and then the 2 of them have a situation with his brother, who is the internet one. And now we're supposed to believe, like, man, whose fault is this?
It's the internet fault, man. This is the internet fault, man.
The internet can't stop hurting people, can it?
Oh my God, the internet can't, bro.
Speaking of it, we can close on this. Even though this somber shit ain't shit you should close on. Finally, that nigga sent my shit. My brother finally sent me a copy.
Yeah. Go on, man.
I was trying to see how do I clean that up, but I was like, I didn't say anything. There's nothing to clean.
Cautious, man. You bootlegging out
Fuck
here.
that. No, sir. No, sir. No, sirree. What was I saying?
Your brother sent you something.
Well, before that.
Some somber shit.
Oh, no. The internet killer niggas. You sent me a clip the other day.
I don't even want to laugh, man. But
It's not laughable, but it is. I want to go real quick to see.
The internet go too far, man. Like, why do I see this young man?
I want to say what you said, man. Hold on 1 second, because how you said it prompted me to click it. You said, what happened to Lil Reese, man?
Yeah.
With a video. So I, of course, go, all right, well, what happened to Lil Reese? Right. I click the video. I see somebody convulsing almost on the floor, bleeding, head swole up, and a nigga finger in his face. Like, yeah, and I'm like, yo, what is the internet doing, man?
What is happening?
That video didn't even tell me what was happening. Apparently,
that's what I said to you. Like, what happened to him? And I figured you might know. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see it till you said it.
Explain what happened.
Nigga, I was making food and shit for the family. My lady's mother about to go out of the country for some months, so we all chilling. This nigga sent me a text. That's why I didn't hear the sound. I just looked at it and I'm playing it. And I got a dead body at the dinner table, nigga. And like, what, Adrian, like, what you watching, daddy? Why is he bleeding? I was like, oh, shit. I didn't expect none of what I was about to see, my nigga. But not to laugh at all that. We laughed at that part because that part was the laughable part. The unlaughable part, though, is these niggas is dying every day on and because of the internet. There's people that go the extra mile because they believe or know it will end up on the internet.
Oh, I completely agree.
And sometimes they the reason that it is up on the internet, so they know, let me put a little extra sauce on it so I can get some more views and clicks when it come up. I want to have the video that everyone's sharing.
It's the most double-edged sword of all time, man.
Of all times.
Because it's
motherfucker like, hey.
Most of these rappers, they wouldn't even be famous without the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They're famous for some of their antics on the internet.
Right. And see, my shorty was asking me, like, who is Lil Reese and this and this? And I was like, I don't know who he is, to be completely honest with you. I've never heard one of his songs.
I know he's a rapper.
I know he's a rapper. That's all.
And he's from Chicago.
I was gonna say.
I literally know those things.
I think he's from Chicago.
Mm-hmm. That's what I knew. So that's why even when you asked me, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what was happening, man.
But then, what the fuck, man? And then you sent me the screenshot that basically said he got shot for some shit that didn't even have nothing to do with him.
Did I put it in the room?
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure it was like he was buying some weed from somebody. They was in a stolen car, and somebody came and shot up the stolen car because it was their car, and he just happened to be there buying some weed from Cat.
And that's what I said. That's it, nigga. That's why I go to the dispensary.
Like dead fucking ass, man.
But what kind of reason is that to damn near die?
I swear, bro. Life got too much bullshit to come along with it, bro.
And Reese, apparently, Lil Reese is still alive, and he's making it. And apparently, he got shot a lot of times.
Right. He always
like 18 months ago.
Tupac and shit.
But that's my thing. The internet now. When they thought he was dying, they were shitting on him. Now they see he alive, they making jokes at the fact that he can't die. The internet is the sickest place you've ever seen in your life. They're literally on there like, when God calls Lil Reese, the nigga's like, back up, bitch. This is what the internet is doing. This is what the internet is doing.
Somebody said when I seen the Lil Reese video, and then they had the when Thug Nipsey was on Boondocks, he said, "Damn, what did he do to make them niggas so mad?" I was like, y'all niggas is.
So how do you care about something where the same place you learning about it don't care? The same place I saw him being hurt is the same place I saw the jokes on him being hurt.
But we say this all the time, though, man.
Please say it again.
I'm not going to say the internet kills people. I'm not going to say that. It's that
It does.
the internet is such the gift and the curse. Like we always say, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be able to record this podcast right now if it wasn't for the internet, and people wouldn't be able to listen to it if it wasn't for the internet and social media. And then you already know as far as my life goes in the internet. So it's like it has all of these blessings, but it kills. It's like a microcosm of human beings.
Oh my gosh! In the most extreme versions of each, you can make 100,000 showing your feet. You can die while filming a TikTok.
It's like my nephew said, we always blame the internet, but we don't blame the people. And I'm like, I'm sorry because the internet makes people worse than they would have been without it. And I hate to say that, but it's true. It makes
but it
people
only
worse
does
than they
it.
would have been, bro.
But it doesn't make you do it. It just gives you a place to do it.
It gives you an audience.
Exactly. It's like, hey, I'm not telling you to put a Twinkie filled with cocaine in your ass. What I'm telling you is you'll have 1 million views.
You might make some money.
You have 1 million views in a day and a sponsorship by next morning.
Yeah,
So it's like,
or you might die from it.
Or you may die and live infamously online forever as the nigga that died.
Don't nobody watch it. You never know, but one thing I do know, you got to get on that internet.
Look at your options. Hey, everyone may see it. No one may see it.
No.
You may live. You may die. Give it a try.
Hopefully you live and everybody sees it. Hopefully.
All I care about is people seeing it. So if they see you failing at it, because you can fail at it and you'll get the same results as if you nailed it.
It's definitely an honest to God truth. You don't know what's going to happen with that motherfucking internet, boy.
It's not responsible. It just gives you a place to do it,
What
man.
bullshit? Motherfuckers that say a tweet or say a joke. It be like comedians and shit. They say the same kind of like vulgar jokes all the time. And then one day they'll say a vulgar joke and then everybody will just attack them. And then it's how some people get introduced to him. It's like, wow, he's the kind of comedian that makes these kind of jokes.
I love these jokes.
It's just like
Fan!
you don't know what that motherfucker
Subscribe. And that's why the internet, that's why I give it danger. Because
it's dangerous, man.
And dangerous sometimes can be good danger. Some people like danger. Sometimes danger is good for you. And that's what the internet is.
Allowing like 14-year-old girls to fucking talk to 40-year-old niggas and make a plan to meet up with them and run to Kentucky together. That kind of shit is much harder to do before the internet existed.
Yeah. Before chances.
I mean, where does a 40-year-old meet a 14-year-old in real life? Like, be honest though. That don't happen in real life.
But what? See, I look at that and I crazily say that probably saves some people from dying. Like maybe some of these creeps don't really want to kill them. They just want to get some of their creepy shit off. The internet allows them to do that. Whereas back in the day, they wouldn't know they couldn't do it until after they're here. Like, well,
you're right.
Gotta kill them now.
That's what we're wrong about the internet. Because everything that we say that's a negative about the internet, you have a positive.
It's a positive.
Because, like, you can say, well, people doing ridiculous shit because of the internet. And then there's some people doing great things because of the internet. Like, fucking people is getting rich off cryptocurrency and shit. That shit is, cryptocurrency is the internet.
It's the internet, yeah.
You feel me? So, it's tough.
Oh, speaking of, I got this shit that I'm about to start. I hate talking about shit that I'm about to start before I started. But when you talk about this, a lot of times that happen, or I never finish them. Hey, speaking of finished, go on the TheRawHype Patreon if y'all love us. Patreon.com/TheRawHype. I drop a little short. We had this movie we were supposed to do called Gotta Go to Work. And I started filming, and we started filming this shit.
We can shoot that still, because we wanted to shoot most of that remote.
Yeah, but it's going to now have to be different. Because what I had, like I said, in the shit, it's like 3 years old.
No,
we look completely different. Scratch. That's what I said. There have to be a new iteration of it.
Yeah. Anyway.
But if you go on the Patreon, you can see the clip on there, man. Them boys doing a little something over there. Why the fuck did I say that?
Because you real.
Oh, no, because I was going to say what I was about to do. Based on what you just said, cryptocurrency being the internet, I'm about to do my little movie review shit. But I'm about to do it with a twist.
What you got?
Well, I can't tell you until I got it. I just wanted to say that part. But I said all that to say, I'm watching the show on Netflix. It's called Startup. I don't know. You ever seen it? Heard about it?
I tried to watch it. Is that the one with Mike Epps on it?
No.
No, that's Upshaw.
That's Upshaw.
Man,
we can talk about that too. We can talk about that too. See?
I was like, please, Mike Epps, save this show.
Hey, black community, brothers and sisters of mine.
Stop, man. Stop.
Please stop.
Like this, man.
Stop laughing at these shows that make them think it's funny.
Dead ass.
That
man.
shit ain't funny.
Like when I was watching
Mike Epps is funny.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name was on there? The girl. Damn,
Wanda
I'm sorry.
Sykes.
Wanda Sykes.
She's funny, and she created the show, and it's not
She's
funny.
funny.
It's like they create shows in this box that they force black people to be in to get a show.
Thank you. That's why I was just making my declaration to the black community. Stop laughing at it.
No doubt.
Black people, it's not funny.
Like, when I hear Mike Epps' lines, I say he didn't write none of these lines. They just got Mike Epps to read them. Like, Mike Epps is just a guy on the show. It's like,
just
man, if
a
you're
guy.
not going to let him be Mike Epps, then don't put him on the show, man.
Hype. This the part of the new shit that we writing. Well, I'm writing, motherfucker. Word to Joe Budden. I have you being very funny, right? I'm writing what I kind of want you to say. It's very funny, but you know, like what I always do when we're recording, it's like, hey, this is what I want from it, so use whatever words you want to use to get to it.
That's what you.
They should let niggas like Mike Epps do that.
Yes.
That's what they did it Friday, next Friday, and that's why he became a star.
Yes, that nigga was not, like, some of the things he said in Next Friday couldn't be written down.
At all. He didn't know he was going to say them. Mm-hmm. It's like, what happened?
Like, when he was like, I got a restraining order on and she don't give a damn. She don't be restraining or nothing. like, no one wrote that down. She don't be restraining. Or even Cupcake got a new Twinkie coming out. I don't believe nobody wrote that down.
Nobody. You can't, man. Who writes that down?
Exactly.
He's that funny in the moment. He's like, man.
Off the dome.
This is my shot.
Even if he said it off the dome and then he said it a few more times to get it right, but nobody wrote that down. Nobody.
He said it off the dome and then refined it. Oh, no, that was funny. Oh, I like how that sounds.
No doubt. I can believe that.
This is what they need to do with people like them. Give them a goal, like, hey, this is what we're trying to convey in this scene. Use your words and use your funny. Even if we got to do it like 3-4 times and then pick the best funny out of there. Yeah. And after you do it 3-4 times, we can then write what's funny. Don't write words for a nigga like Mike Epps to say, because what you writing... Exactly. What you writing is not Mike Epps funny.
No, it's any actor could have read these lines funny.
It's old 90s safe sitcom funny.
Yes, you're putting the laugh button every 5 seconds, and I'm like, come on, man. Anyway,
I hate a laugh button.
I only feel like I hate a laugh button on shows that aren't funny. Like if a show isn't funny,
because only a show that's not funny have a laugh button.
Yeah, man, come on.
The shows like a Martin and shit.
Like, you really put a laugh button on that bitch to tell a nigga when to laugh?
That was funny.
That's insulting at this point. A 2021 show got a laugh button on that motherfucker, man.
See, Martin and them shows wasn't laugh buttons. They were live studio audiences. So sometimes you will get the studio audience laughing a little bit longer than they supposed to. Really? And then you'll see, like, then you see Martin and them niggas got to hold the scene and shit.
I ain't never noticed that.
Yeah, man. They would start... They'll start off the show as like, this show is taped in front of a live studio audience.
That is true. Why they don't do that no more? They don't do that shit for like Jerry Springer and shit. That nigga said COVID.
Well, that's the only thing I can say now.
I did a YouTube video on the song by Eminem, right? And I haven't dropped the video just because I don't
Eminem would make a COVID song.
And he has a song where the hook goes, these bars are like COVID. You get them right off the bat, all right? And that's why it reminds me of that, right? You get it, right? And then the song is like, okay, right? And then deeper in the song, the beat changes, and the song gets okay. And then like
it gets okayer?
Yeah. Then like the last 50 seconds of the song, the beat changed one more time, and it's amazing. And it made me say, why would you do that? Like, I literally be
What do
fast
you
forwarding
mean,
to
like-
the end of the bitch. And I just listen to
why
that
you
little
didn't just
part.
do amazing for the whole part?
Yeah, no bullshit. Because it's like, and all it did was, because his flow was pretty much the same, but it just changed the beat. And then the beat, it literally, and on the video, it's like him like in New Orleans. And in the part of the beat, it got like some like trumpets. You know, that's always dope in the beat. So
Trumpets
it's like
and the
he
beat
rapping,
is for me.
Yeah, so he rapping, and then the dude got on like full like Mardi Gras ensemble, and he like in Bourbon Street, New Orleans, and he played the trumpet like, and I'm like, whoo, and the shit is amazing. But it makes me say, why would you wait until the very end? And then it made me say, would the end be as good if the first part wasn't so okay?
And that was going to be my answer. The old common cut and paste way of doing things is to make it crescendo.
Yeah,
you start off slow and then you speed up. And I'm saying
the whole song sometimes, and I listen to the end sometimes, and it works for me.
My whole thing is we are more mature people. And not even just age-wise, I mean palate-wise. Like, kids ain't laughing at some of the shit that they want them to laugh at, like, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, treat us as such. It's like I always said for my idea for, like, movies and shit. Like, why do they have to have... All movies have that slow grade, that drop-off, and then that rise again. Yes. Why do we need the drop-off?
Yes,
let's just have a good all the way through movie.
Like me and you was even talking how every episode of every show and every movie is it comes on, there's a problem, they solve the problem, and it goes off. That's literally every movie ever. You can pick comedy.
Unless some of them have like Avengers in them. Some
continuous.
Of them, yes. Exactly. Unless they plan for it to be.
But even in Avengers, they do that. They just solve a small problem.
Yeah, that's why I solve.
You feel what I'm saying? But it continues. But it's Family Guy. It's Parks and Recreation. It's every show ever. It starts. There's a problem. They have a solution, and it goes off. And then I even think from your standpoint of if we were to write something, I would do that exact same thing. But why?
That's why I don't want to do that exact same thing, man.
Because like if you just made a show and it just got to the end of that motherfucker and it was the end of that motherfucker and it continued and if they do it with television, like a season of TV, there's a problem in the season and before the season's over, they solve the problem. It's like...
What they started later on doing is give you two problems. They give you the main overarching problem and then a mini problem that we can fix in this episode.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah. So they fix the little episode, but the big problem's still there.
Tommy
shut up.
Kill Ghost, but they made it to where so-and-so's not searching their house anymore. They made it to where so-and-so's not following them anymore. But don't worry, Tommy's going to steal.
And like you said, we have to wait to the end of the season to know what we knew at the beginning of the season. And that's my problem when you try to crescendo like that is when you have certain people or certain ways that you already know how it's going to end, then you lose all the credibility and all the momentum you had because we're just waiting for that ending we know that's coming.
I've said this on the podcast a million times. That day that they ended the season, making it seem like next season Tommy was going to kill Ghost. I messaged you and I talked to you and I said, this is the worst part about it though. Now we have to wait 2 years to watch Power.
They have to get out of this bullshit and give us something.
A whole year till it come back on. And then we have to wait a whole nother year before they get past this dumbass problem that we know not going to happen. And then hopefully they'll have something worth our time. That never happened, but it was like, come on. And like almost every show does it. Where you got a whole season of some bullshit. Man.
That's what upsets me.
That's why I shout out Breaking Bad. I do remember, even though you hated the last season of Game of Thrones, I remember when they had killed her dragon, and right before the episode went off, I was like, "Dragon, please open your eyes."
Please open those baby blue eyes for me.
Please open your eye and be a White Walker. Because I don't know how they're going to solve that problem, but please happen. And right before it went off, he opened his eye, and it was now a White Walker. And I was just like, good job. And then sometimes
for the record, that wasn't the final season of Game of Thrones. It was season before that.
Oh, okay. I watched them back
to continue.
But anyway, I was just so happy that happened. And then
I only say that so you know there's no redeeming quality of the last season.
And also, it goes to show that this wonderful moment wasn't in the last season, which it proves my point even more.
Continue.
But sometimes you'll be watching a movie and you'll say, please don't do so-and-so.
And then here it comes.
And that's what, like, if a nigga recommends
and that's how you lose me.
Exactly. Like, if you recommended me a movie and I say that and it happens, I'm going to pick up my phone and text you. Like, hey, nigga, don't ever do this again.
Well, I'm about to recommend one, back we were saying, Startup.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's a show. It had 3 seasons. Yeah. And that's another telltale tale to me. Telltale tale to me. I said, I didn't know it was 3 telltale tales.
Yeah.
Anyway, is how many seasons you got. You know what I'm saying? Because that tells me a lot. If you got like 5 and 6 and 7, you ain't gonna be that good. Because I know how this shit works.
Yeah.
After season 2 and 3,
and I haven't heard of you, or I'm Gucci.
You ain't good.
Yeah.
This shit had 3 seasons. It's about, and it started in like 2016, 2017, and it was about. Well, that's about 5 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it's done.
Yes, it's done.
Okay.
You
seen all of it?
No. I'm on season 2 right now, and that's why I feel comfortable enough telling you that you could go watch it. Because it's about cryptocurrency and like starting a business, starting their own cryptocurrency, and then all having to get investors and then people fucking you over and all these different shits. There is going to be some moments of shit that you know is coming, but it's going to be some shit you ain't fucking know is coming. And that's my thing. Give me both. If you going to give me the cliche shit, that's because I need you to give me the shit that it does. You know what I'm saying? And the topic of it is another reason why I think you would enjoy it. It being crypto and it being shit like this.
I got a TV show story for you, though. All right,
Give it to me.
Pretty much every day this week, when I got ready to go to sleep, I would watch Superstore. All right? And remember you used to clown
yes, I always had a fucking entertainmentical problem with you because of how you watch that. But continue.
Okay. So, I watched the Superstore. So, I fall asleep early as fuck one day. And the next day, my shorty wake up and she tell me, she was like, I was watching that show you was watching last night. She was like, it's pretty funny. And then later she was like, it's like the perfect show to go to sleep to because if you miss an episode or 2, you're not going to make a big deal about it, right? I said, all right, so to show you I'm on the same page as you with how I feel about this show, I said, I watched season 1 of this show, right? And I said, and I liked it a lot. I said, I told Rebel about it. He clowned me for it. Boo, 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 right? That and now it's 6 seasons and it's done. Okay, I'm currently on season 2. And I'm liking it and I'm enjoying it, but it's still just that type of show. It's a funny show, but it's like
it's funny enough.
Exactly. That's all it is. It's just funny enough. And my homeboy named Jason reminded me of a nigga on there. He looked like him. He talked like him. He always talking about white people and shit on the show. And he reminded me of him. And I didn't know this nigga when I started watching it. You feel me? So it's even funnier to me now because he reminded me of the nigga or whatever. But I'm like, that's exactly how good the show is. That's why I also don't care about your critique or your criticism of it. Is because I gave the show what it deserved. I watched the season. It was good enough for me to say, this bitch straight.
I'll go to sleep to that.
Yeah, but I let the next 5 seasons pass without watching one episode of season 2. But now I'm ready to watch it, so I'm watching it.
Oh man,
it's that good. It's good enough to watch one day.
It's good enough to watch, man. And that's what they do, man. They put just a sprinkle in enough.
Oh yeah.
Man, listen, man. Again, COVID fucked us over, but hopefully we can get back in order, man. We got some shit to do, man. We got to show people how to make entertainment, man. Or at least, hey, let me not even say it on that arrogant way.
Yeah, it is pretty
I don't know if you gonna like it. It's gonna be different.
We got to show people what we talking about when we say we want to make something. Even if
that's what I'm saying.
You don't like it, it will be what we
You'll see what we were trying to do. You'll see what we was trying to do. Right. You know?
Yeah, even if you don't like it.
I have no problem. That's why I watch certain random shows and shit, because it's like, man, I'll give you a shot just because you trying something new.
Like I told you about Southside on... What's Southside on? HBO Max?
No.
Prime.
It's probably on there.
Yeah, maybe Prime. Yeah, I think it's on.
I only
Prime
say
Video.
that because it's probably on one of these networks that got to deal with one of
Right.
these apps.
But like I told
Comedy
you,
Central. It was on Comedy
Yep,
Central.
It was on Comedy Central. You didn't hear it from me, but watch it.
I told you. I remember when it was premiering because like the first episode or so had something to do with like Michael Jordan. It's like a mixture of sports with whatever the fuck they got going on. Is it a Michael Jordan's jersey or a Michael Jordan's shoe or something along those lines? It was with the first episode. I remember when it was coming around and I was like, oh, I'll give it a whirl.
The premise of the show is not entertaining. It don't make no sense. It's low budget as fuck, but the characters do a good job. And this is what I be saying about low budget. If you're low budget, you have to be a comedy.
Hype, and that's what I'm saying to you. That's why I could tell you the shit that I wrote for you. I know it's funny because I know you can't act, I know I can't act, and I know ain't no fucking group finna come shoot this motherfucker. So I need to make sure you laugh.
Yeah.
Because you can get away with so much bullshit if you make a motherfucker laugh.
Facts.
And now don't say you can't act. You can't act. You
What?
just...
Who's there?
Where art thou? Thou temptest me? That sounds like an Upshaws joke.
I feel like I can only be one of those actors that pretty much play himself in every movie. And shit.
Exactly. I just need to tell you which version of you I need.
Right, yeah.
The one in this is the hyping hype. The one who just says ridiculous things. I start off one of the lines and I go, you ain't got nothing. I fucking
died over there.
Yeah, my shit died, and I knew it was coming.
My shit been plugged up the whole time, baby. My camera that's getting the video ain't plugged up though. It's still going though.
Did you stop?
I know
at
that
any
bitch
point?
getting low. Nah, I can't run him out.
That's what I said. I said, hope he's still running because it'll help me when I'm editing it to just put it straight in because I didn't stop.
I can't run it by, baby.
Hey, before we go, man, we have shout out the Random Master Podcast. You did say you wanted to talk about Devin, but shout him out because I saw them boys got them some studio, dog.
They got what?
Oh, you ain't know?
Uh-uh.
Man, them Random Master Podcast, Amp and them, they got their own studio. They just got a lease on the studio, yo.
You
Niggas got the
lying.
keys and everything. That boy thinks I got them keys.
Wow.
I got them keys.
He said he wanted to do it.
Yes.
That's
Again,
dope.
just like Joe Budden, nigga, we out here trying to see, and then you look at it and be like, damn, man, that's pretty dope. I look at it and it's like, damn, man, that's pretty dope. I need a studio.
You know, if it was on my radar, I would say the same thing. I just don't feel like it's something we need.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I would definitely be like, well, shit, you know.
Exactly.
Man, I'm not even 100% sure, bro, what I'm about to do with my life exactly, man. Like, all jokes aside.
Your life usually be up in limbo too often. Like, it's too much of a regular occurrence for your life to be, like, you don't know what you feel to do. This is the first time I would say in your favor that you can decide what step you want.
Yeah, I got options.
Yeah.
Right, no, I watched that recently. It was on my Instagram. I was like, why don't I have most stuff on my Instagram, man? I need to start posting more about shit. But,
that's what
really
Joe
what
Budden
it is.
said to Maul and Rory.
If you send me the shit, I'll post it. I don't be knowing how to record shit and snip shit. And, man, people be posting shit that I promise to God I don't know how to post. Like dead ass. I just don't be using this shit, bro. I really don't, bro. I don't be using it, man.
You be confusing it, I know.
Yeah, man. Anyway,
what you had to say about Devin? Yeah, you said you had something about Devin?
Yeah, man. I'm listening to random acts and shit. Them boys start attacking Devin because they say he be shouting our shit out too much. They be like, he be posting the raw hype shit though. I was like,
Come
damn.
on, man. Hey, I do remember you said that. You was like, yeah, nigga, we need it. Y'all
Like,
don't
for
need
real.
it.
I was like, y'all don't need it. But that's just like a nigga. I always think your life gravy and shit. Y'all don't need it. Nigga, we need it.
But see, that's like what Joe and them saying. So now Amp and them is saying, hey, when we get the keys and we about to get the big check, and here come Devin talking about, hey, where my cut? He's like, nigga, go post the raw hype. You ain't been posting our shit.
But
Is
Devin
he
been
right?
there since day one. But Devin been there since day one.
Yeah, but in this particular situation, what Amp is saying in this particular situation is you're not helping this thing grow to be what it needs to be. You just don't send the shit. I went out, I got a studio now, and now you
How
want
you know
your
Devin
cut.
didn't have nothing to do with that studio, man?
Hey, we don't know shit about what's going on. I'm just speaking.
I found out from you. And I'm
Shout
gonna
out
tell
to
somebody
them, boy.
else.
Shout out to Random Acts, man. You know for
man.
sure we finna come in that motherfucking studio. about
Being
to have
Solo
all-
shouted us out on their last episode of the Random Acts.
Shout out,
the episode
Ben.
before last.
Shout out
Being
Ben Solo,
man.
man. That nigga said, them rapping ass niggas. He's like, yeah.
Nigga had to call
Has the
back.
raw
Let me
hype-
take it. The raw hype, man. That's
Exactly.
what he said.
And that's what I liked about it. I was just about to say, have we not done enough to where niggas is just calling us rapping ass niggas on the
That's
podcast?
it. Right.
But it didn't
We're the
sit
rapping
right.
ass
It
niggas.
didn't sit right with Mr. Ben. So that's why he's like, nah, man, let me
Yeah.
call back the
I
raw
respect
hype.
that.
That's why I respect him. You
He
did
like
shit.
in Colorado or something. I was like, y'all niggas got fans all over the world and shit. Or listeners all over the world.
all
and shit.
over. Listeners all over the world.
Chill. Look.
Hey,
All
come
right,
on.
man.
Nah, you ain't getting out of here that easy, man. Come on, let's go.
You finna rap?
You is.
How am I rap on your beat?
Because you say you can hear it crystal clear.
It's not, the timing not the same, boy.
Oh, no, the timing is perfectly fine.
I am not rapping on your beat. You gonna have to send me the beat if you want me to rap.
Is you scared, nigga? You don't know what to do when the beat come on and the trumpet start going rah, rah, rah. What is you scared, nigga?
Yeah.
I'ma send you the beat, coward.
Nah, I got
Hey.
my own beat.
I don't know why this nigga be crying. I don't know why this nigga be lying. Hey, I tried to send him the beat, but he's scared of the beat like the cowardly lion. Yeah, that's my nigga. My nigga is cool. Yeah, that's my nigga. My nigga be fine. I don't understand what Joe Budden do, but I heard this week Ballin' Joe, he got fired. He was like, Rory, don't you show up to work, you white cracker. And all he say, I got your back. Joe, he a backstabber. Had us
Ooh.
out in the street when we the one that made the money for the meet and greet. Now that I just sent it to you. Play that motherfucker.
Nah, bro, I need a different beat, bro. Bro, turn your beat off,
I
man.
just did. What the fuck is that?
New trumpets, baby. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
Let go.
Hey,
Yeah.
young boy got drip
Huh.
just like a fountain. I called Joe. I said, shit, need to see that accountant. I need to see that guap. Need
Guap.
to see that bread.
Breathe.
See, I told you, your timing off, man.
Oh, for
It's
real?
a delay, bro. You trying to throw me off, man.
Alright, man. Well, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Raw Hypers. Shout out my dog Hype. Shout out to Remote. Raw Hypers, we got a lot of shit we trying to do, man. We trying to build. So if the random
I'm finna
times-
try to get a studio on these niggas, man.
Cause we ain't dropped shit last week, and you know, the Patreon
Man, I was
gets up.
busy.
I know, that's what I said, man. We got shit going on, man. But we trying to get everything right for y'all. Y'all will always have something to come forward and look to here. The website almost done. So we gonna do a launch for the web. What you going for, nigga? I can cough too, nigga. We gonna get some coughing ass niggas on there, I tell you.
Shit. Oh, I was about to say something. Oh, soon, nigga, I'm finna only be working 3 days a week.
Come on now.
I ain't gonna know how to act, man.
That nigga smiling like that. You ever seen that smile like you know you got something?
Like, for real, I ain't gonna know how to act, man. No bullshit.
Woo.
I feel like I'm gonna start getting shit done then.
Come on now.
Because now I gotta get to the point where I'm working 0 days a week. So I gotta start using my time better.
Yes, sir.
Right now, my time ain't going to them crackers.
Fuck them crackers. You got anything to say to these people before we get up out of here, man?
Shout out to them crackers, man. My Tupac shirt looking ridiculous and shit, but hey, I don't worry about that till we an hour and a half in, baby.
I'll worry about
look
that at the
ridiculous.
end.
I'm clean in the back, though. In the background, I got my favorite outfit on, boy.
Come
the
on,
James
boy.
hat with the Kobe, boy. Man, let me get up out of here, man. I'm finna give me some more Kobe's, though. I'm getting all them hoes. Oh, for real. I'm getting all
I
them.
believe you. And I believe you more because I saw you the other day in that jersey. I was like, I thought he said he was only going to wear it once. I was like, it's because he going to buy more.
I need another one of that to hang up, but I need all of them to rock. They got some shit on the Mission on the Nest website, dog, some hard shit. They expensive, though, boy.
Yeah, boy. I'll take it.
Anyway, man.
All right,
I'm
man.
up
Shout
out
out to you. Shout out to Raw Hypers, man. Next week, we'll see how y'all get us, baby.
Already.
I don't know how you Raw Hype, but we Raw Hype responsibly.
Ooh.